In this video, you learn everything you need to use Git in a work as a software developer for a commercial project. After watching this material, you can easily add Git as a skill to your resume. You will find out how to initialize a repository, how to commit, push and pull your changes, how to use branches properly, naming conventions and best practices in general that will help you cooperate in the team. Moreover, at the end of this video, I'll show you two commands that very simplify usage of this version control system. Basically, this is the only video you need to watch and master Git. So grab a cup of coffee and let's get started. Git is a distributed version control system used to track changes during software development. It was created by Linux kernel development team as a successor to Bitkeeper when this version control system became paid. If you don't know what version control is, just let me quickly explain. Version control is about managing many versions of a project. To make it happen, every change made to the files, like adding, modifying or deleting, has to be tracked. To do effective version control, we use tools called version control systems, VCS for short. These tools help you see changes made to your files and let you quickly go back to earlier version if something goes wrong. One of the most important features of Git is its branching system. Branch is a copy of the project that you can work on without making a mess in the repository. While a repository is a storage location where a project's code, files and version history are managed and tracked. If you work on Mac, you can install Git using a package manager called Homebrew, or just download it from the official website. If you are a Windows user, just use the second way. Create a working directory for your project. In my case, it's gonna be called Akatsuki. Then, just go into this newly created folder and type git in it in order to initialize the local repository. This command will create a hidden folder called .git that contains configuration and other information that Git needs to manage versions of your project. Add basic configuration. Git requires your name and email address to be associated with each commit you make. Adding global flag is optional, and it depends whether you want to configure the user for all your repositories or just for this one. You can also configure other things, for example a text editor that you wanna use to type commit messages. In Git, files can exist in three different states. When you edit a file for the first time, or you've just created it, the file is in a modified state. Then, if you want to include these changes to your next commit, you have to add it using the git add command. This way, the file goes to the state called staged, meaning it's gonna be included in the next commit you make, but it's not committed yet. Committed means the changes were saved to the local repository. Committing is done by using the git commit command. You can also add an extra m flag to add a commit message dynamically, instead of opening a text editor for it. I always do it in this way. So these three states help you manage and track changes efficiently in your Git projects. GitHub is a platform where you can store and share your repositories with other people. You can create a remote repository there and then connect it with your local one. Thanks to it, you can share your changes with other members of your project. In order to create a repository in GitHub, first you have to create an account there. Then find the green button called New or Create New Repository, depending on what page you are on, and just click it. Then pick up the name for your repository, leave others as they are, the public is fine with this example, and click Create Repository. In order to push local changes to that repository, you have to connect it to your local one using git remote add, where the first argument is the name of the remote repo, usually it's an origin, and the second argument is URL. In this example, I'll use an SSH protocol. Then, to push your changes to remote repo, execute command git push origin main. It failed as expected because we didn't add a public key to our GitHub account. Let's do it right now. So let's head to the settings page and copy paste the public key from our local machine. If you are interested in how SSH authentication works and how to use it, please check out my other video on this topic. When this is done, let's switch back to the working directory and repeat the command. As you can see, your changes are in a remote repository now. Nice. Now, let's try to pull something from the remote repository. Create a readme file in GitHub, type some example text, head to the terminal and execute command git pull origin main, very similar to the previous one. This way we can download the newest changes to our local repository. Now let's create some new files for the needs of the tutorial. Probably the most commonly used command is git status. Use it frequently to check what happens in your repository. It shows you, among others, what files have been edited and what's their state. To remove files from being tracked by Git, you can use the git restore command. By adding staged flag, you can also remove it from the staged state. Let's practice committing our changes and pushing them to remote repository. A git ignore file is used in Git to specify files or directories that should be ignored by Git. This is useful for excluding files that are not relevant for the project, like logs, environment variables, and etc. Git branch is used to display branches in your local repository and check on what branch you already are. Git checkout is mostly used to switch between branches. I often use it with flag B to create a new branch and just switch to it. Very convenient way. Git log shows you the detailed commit history. I use it frequently with one line flag that makes output shorter and more elegant. Branches are versions of your project that you can adjust and then merge with each other. Usually you are supposed to have at least 3 types of branches: main or master, develop, and working branches that you can use for creating new features or for fixes. It's a part of a Git flow, and if you wanna hear more about it, please let me know in the comments section. When I work in a commercial project, I often call my branches like project name plus task number. It makes it easy to search via the commits afterwards. Now let's add some changes on our feature branch. Let's commit the changes and push them to remote branch. Now, let me show you how to perform a pull request. The easiest way is to just click the link generated in the output of the previous command. A pull request is a way for developers to notify team members that they have completed a feature or a bug fix and want their code to be reviewed and potentially merged into develop or master branch of the repository. It allows others to review the changes, suggest improvements, and discuss the modifications before they are integrated into a main project. But before we create our pull request, let's push develop branch to remote repository, because it's absent there. Now let's pick up destination branch and extend the title. After that, let's create a pull request. Now we can review changes, merge it, then confirm the merge and delete the branch because it's not needed anymore. Let's pull changes from develop branch to see if everything is correct. It is. In order to combine changes from one branch to another, you usually use the git merge command. The other way is to use git rebase, but differences between these commands and how they work I already described in a separate video, so I highly recommend you to watch it. One of best practices in writing commit messages is to keep them in imperative mode. They should tell what this commit does, how it influences the project, not what it did. Git stash is very handy when you frequently switching between many branches and you wanna keep the changes but you are not willing to commit every time to save your work. Use git stash to stash the changes to the stack. Use git stash pop to remove changes out of the stack. Simple. Another useful operation is called cherry pick, that allows you to pick a single commit and apply it to another branch. Imagine the case that you added a quick fix on one branch and then you want to add it on the other branch. In this case, cherry pick makes it very straightforward. After watching this tutorial, you are now capable of using Git and working the team with other developers. It covered all the basics and some more advanced topics, so now go and try them by yourself. And that would be it for this video. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.